Rokani David is the name of the person behind the microphone, and hope you guys are really ready to see to it that you really get in the know of everything that I'm ready to present to you in here onto our channel. Now, we all know to it that Arsenal is going to be taking on Man United, that is today at Old Trafford, and there are lots of things that Arteta went ahead to address ahead of this game of football, and he has been talking Man United, but as we are really planning to obviously bring him more and more about this, we are also getting into what we call the best of the best of you people who are really watching in this channel, that we don't really forget getting you the best that you people deserve onto this beautiful channel. Now, the club of Manchester United is taking on Arsenal, and they're hosting Arsenal at the Old Trafford Stadium, a stadium where they've gone ahead obviously beat Arsenal most of the times. And if at all Man United beats Arsenal today, they would have gone ahead to be the team to beat Arsenal a century times. That is 100 times in there for you. Now, there is a fight for the number 9 position at the stadium of Arsenal, and we're waiting to see how that pans out. But Arteta was asked on what he expects from the game of Man United, and this is what the lad had to obviously say. They will be different as well. The manager will have more time with them. They have a preseason. They make some really good signings as well, like anybody else. I think they strengthened and they will be better than last year. That's what Arteta has gone ahead to say. That Manchester United strengthened and they're obviously going to be better than last year. Obviously, that is written all over the wall. But we as United fans, because for me I support Man United, we have to understand that we are not yet at the level of Arsenal. That is it. We are not yet there. And Arsenal comes in through as a team with an edge over Manchester United. Though you have to obviously come up and obviously give Arsenal, you have to come out and give United a benefit of doubt that they can obviously come in through and really shock Arsenal. However much they are coming in through as the favorites, but they can be shocked by the club of Manchester United, because on several occasions United has gone ahead to shock the side of Arsenal in everything they've gone ahead to do in there at Old Trafford especially. So he said the manager is really there and they've gone ahead to bring in good signings, that is Sesko, Mbeumo and Cunha. I think Arteta understands all these players better, because he knows to it that he wanted to sign all these players. He at a certain point wanted Sesko, Mbeumo just turned down Arsenal and he said, I'm going to Manchester United this season. And for Cunha, they really pushed a lot from that December of last year to really see him join the club of Arsenal. And Matheus Cunha went ahead to obviously renew his contract after he really got pissed by Arsenal making a bid for a player known as Ollie Watkins. Yet, the amount of money they went ahead to bid for Ollie Watkins was less by £20 million for them to obviously go ahead and really buy Matheus Cunha. It was remembered that if Arsenal was to obviously take Matheus Cunha in January, they would have gone ahead to spend only and only they would have gone ahead to spend only and only £40 million, and for Manchester United, they've gone ahead to get in Matheus Cunha for 63.5 million pounds, because after he really saw that bid going through for Ollie Watkins, Cunha was pissed and was like, I had gone ahead to agree personal terms with the club of Arsenal, and after me agreeing personal terms with them, they went ahead to obviously go behind me and they went ahead and made a bid for Ollie Watkins. You understand? There and then he went ahead to renew his contract at Wolverhampton Wanderers. He signed a 4-year contract with Wolves that really had what we call a release clause in there. That is Matheus Cunha for you. So when Arteta says that he knows this player very well, I want to let you know that yes, he's right. He knows the player very, very, very well, and he's known obviously lying. He knows the player very, very well, as he has been scouting him, and that is it. For Sesko, you all know the story of Benjamin Sesko. Do I need to come out here and obviously repeat it? You know the story of Benjamin Sesko, and Arsenal have been chasing in for Benjamin Sesko for 2 consecutive summer transfer windows. Last season, Sesko was like, I'm not coming to Arsenal. He extended his contract, and a release clause of 85 million euros, 75 million euros was obviously included into that deal. So Arteta knows all of these players, and when he says that United has gone ahead obviously getting good players, he knows exactly what he's talking about, because he was also one of the people that we are really responsible for obviously going in for those players, and we all know that very, very well into the mix. So that is Mikel Arteta for you, and he's here to say to it that he obviously says United is obviously going to be a difficult team to obviously beat in there. Now, the other point he hinted on, Arteta, on standout memories against Manchester United. He said, there is a lot, some great memories. It's history. The clashes when I was younger, there were massive characters playing for both teams, and it created something different in those teams. So, obviously, the battle of Man United and Arsenal intensified when Arsenal brought in Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger built the team known as Arsenal to a level that it went ahead to compete with Manchester United on several occasions. Now, Arteta talking about these battles, you remember United having a captain known as Roy Keane. You remember that very well. And having a captain known as Roy Keane, Arsenal had a captain known as Patrick Vieira, and they used to clash a lot. You remember how United went ahead, obviously failed to really break the unbeaten run record of Arsenal for the season of 2003-2004, where United was given a penalty in the dying minutes, and Ruud van Nistelrooy found himself denied by the crossbar, and guess what happened? Martin Keown fighting and very many others. They went ahead to fight each other, and I was like, oh my God, you know, that's what he's talking about. But he also happened to feature into some games of Manchester United versus Arsenal. That is Mikel Arteta, and he even captained some of the games while he was at Arsenal. If you remember very well, when Arsene Wenger went ahead to obviously get him from Everton, and he brought him in at the club of Arsenal. It will be remembered that Mikel Arteta went ahead obviously coming through at the club of Arsenal in 2011 and left in 2016 to start off his coaching career, meaning that for all of those years, the manager Mikel Arteta was up and running, and he put in a very big shift to see to it that all really went on well as he wanted. So 5 years at the club of Arsenal, that is Mikel Arteta, and that's the history he's really talking about, though he hasn't gone ahead to hint onto the history that he really recorded when he was acting as a player at the club of Arsenal. For that, he hasn't been able to obviously let us know about it, but I want to let you know it was really intense in there. He said now it's different, but I think it's going to be the super intense. It's going to be super intense and very exciting. So Arteta is like, the game of football between Arsenal and Man United is going to be super intense, and it's going to be super intense and very exciting. Obviously, that game, if you really know what football is all about, it's a game you should watch today. That is it. It's a game you should watch today, and it's a game you shouldn't miss out, because it's going to be having all that you need. And the manager of Man United has promised that his club is obviously going to be playing better than they played last season. That's what he has gone ahead to let us know. Now, we wait and see how United will look, because for Arsenal, we know how Arsenal will look. They are a possession-based team of football that has now a number 9 in the names of Viktor Gyokeres, and he is really one of the best when it comes to really scoring those goals. And if chances are really created for him, we know how deadly he's obviously going to be turning into as a player, and the monster he can be, we all know. Now, Arteta went ahead and obviously talked about on if Arsenal have enough in the attacking midfield. He said, I think we have great versatility, very different qualities in relation to the opposition as well. We can manipulate that and have some great cohesion within those units. So I'm very happy with that. So I think everyone who is talking about the attacking midfield of Arsenal is just agreeing about what he's talking about. Everyone who is complaining and really questioning or putting in such questions, because the club of Arsenal has players like Martin Odegaard, they have players like Kai Havertz, When you talk about attacking midfield, Kai Havertz is one of those players that you have to really look at. Why? Kai Havertz has been always playing as a central attack midfielder at Leverkusen in there. Before Chelsea went ahead, obviously, sign him and bring him to London. You understand? So, I want to let you know that it's not as you think it is, It's totally a different aspect of football altogether. So, the side of Arsenal has a lot of quality in the attacking midfield. There is Waneri, Odegaard, and a player known as Kai Havertz. So I don't think they're shy of players into those positions. They're really doing good, and they're really having the best of the best, as it's supposed to be going on down at the club of Arsenal. So the manager really has a lot to do. And one thing people are really forgetting is that Martin Zubimendi can literally play in every position in there for you. And I think the main reason as to why this person went ahead obviously posed the question, wanted, I think, to bring in the question of Ebelechi Eze on whether Arsenal is in for a player known as Ebelechi Eze. I think that's the main reason as to why he would have gone ahead obviously put in a question like this. But I don't think that it really made sense, because the manager was like, I'm having versatile players in there, and I believe this can go down very, very well. That is what Arteta really went ahead, obviously replied to the person who questioned about having enough quality in the attacking midfield. So, centrally, the attacking midfield of Arsenal is really doing great. And in the wide areas, they're having Madueke and Bukayo Saka. On the left, Trossard, Martinelli. We've gone ahead to say that even Madueke can play there. And there is also another player called Gabriel Jesus, who is really injured, who can also play off the left very, very well in there for you. So that's all about Mikel Arteta on the attacking midfield of Arsenal, as he went ahead obviously address that very, very well. So I want to let you know that it's really very important to note that, one, the club of Arsenal is really having lots of things to talk about and really think about, and the attacking midfield looks like is an issue at the club of Arsenal, because when you look at the three players that Arsenal are really interested in obviously coming in through, two of those can play in the central attack midfield, and they can literally play in the wide areas of the attacking midfield. That is Ebelechi Eze and Rodrigo. And I think that's why that makes that question a little bit valid. But I think they are worried about it. But when you look at the system that Arteta is going to deploy with Gabriel Jesus into this season, a 4-2-3-1, you worry for the side of Man United, because Odegaard is obviously going to be playing a little bit further higher the pitch than he was obviously playing in the previous two seasons. And that sends you a message that a player in the names of Martin Odegaard is yet to obviously become deadly, as the more you obviously get him close to the final third, that's where deadly is. And Arteta has always gone ahead to complain that Odegaard plays a little bit deeper than he's supposed to be playing. The manager always said the player in Martin Odegaard needed to obviously come out and really play a little bit more higher up the pitch. And in this system, with the double pivot of Declan Rice and Martin Zubimendi all no guard behind him, it will give him a very huge chance to see to it that the player goes ahead to put in the required shift altogether. You understand? So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Rokani David is the name of the person behind the microphone. I see Sesai Sulaiman in there for you, and haven't gone ahead to see very many people flock into the comment section to obviously let me know the fight between Kai Havertz and Viktor Gyokeres. You understand? So leaving it at that, let's obviously get into the reason as to why I went ahead and obviously did this video in here. Arteta was asked on the fight for the number 9 position between Kai Havertz and Viktor Gyokeres. So remember, Kai Havertz has been leading the line for Arsenal for the previous 2 seasons, and he hasn't gone ahead to produce 20 goals this season as a player. I think last season he would have gone ahead to produce the 20 goals, but he was really perturbed by the injury that he went ahead to get. That really went ahead to stop his flow of goals into the season. Now, Arteta had the following answer to this question. It's always good. I play with 11 players. There are going to be some players on the bench that are going to be used, some others that can't be used, some players that we are going to have to leave in the stands. That's what he said. He added on and said, that's the next level that we are going to face, something that we probably haven't faced before. I've had a lot that you have 2 players per position. Well, we have 3 and 4 because they are players that can play in different positions as well. He added and said, it's going to be about earning the right to play, to compete, and when you don't have the chance to do that, to cooperate in the right way with any teammate to improve the levels. It's going to happen to all of them because the season is going to be so demanding. And he concluded and said on this point that the first week is going to be a little bit different, but the momentum we start to play 3 times in a week, it's going to flow in a really knacky way. So the manager is obviously trying to tell us that no one has a confirmed starting position in his 11, and for that I think he's lying. But we all know that the manager known as Arteta has Viktor Gyokeres, all holds him at high esteem when it comes to being a number 9, and that's why he's really pushing into see to it that all really goes on well into that side. So we wait and see how that pans out. This is Rokani David onto the Rokani Media Football, and I want to let you know that the fight for the number 9 position at the club of Arsenal has already gone ahead to pay off results. In the game they played against Athletic Bilbao, you saw to it that Gyokeres went ahead and scored a very beautiful header. The other one was denied by the doping post from the same player, and then a player that most of you don't really pay a lot of attention to, known as Kai Havertz, came off the bench and really scored a very beautiful goal. You know, he sprinted from the center line, and by the time we really got to know, the lad was in the 18 yards box area for the club of Atletico Bilbao. He pulled the trigger and the ball went ahead to cross the line. And what is the cause of all of that? It's because Kai Havertz now knows to it that he has a competitor in the names of Viktor Gyokeres. And Gyokeres coming in through, it changed the narrative at Arsenal. There is no player who is untouchable. Every player now at Arsenal is going to be touchable, or may be expendable depending on what decision has been taken by the manager of that club into the mix. So I don't know who do you think should obviously be getting in more minutes, Gyokeres or Kai Havertz? You know, the question has been left over to you. Should it be Gyokeres or Kai Havertz into the mix? Now let's go into the comment section. Sulaiman says, good morning, RD, good morning. Then you are saying Arsenal will win the beautiful game by 4 goals to nil. I don't think Arsenal can win by that margin at Old Trafford in there. And I think Arsenal will forget about Eze and go for Rodrigo. Obviously, if you've been watching me on this channel for some time, I'm a Rodrigo bring-in merchant. I just want to see him at Arsenal because of what he has obviously gone ahead to do at Real Madrid, and he will obviously come and improve on the winning culture at the club of Arsenal. So guys, 20-minute video is going to be. Continue to subscribe and don't forget obviously coming through and really watch in our live videos on a daily and uploads. Thank you for watching in through. All I can say is good morning, and we sign out for now. See you later. As your reactions to Gyokeres, Havertz fight at Arsenal has to